What's up YouTube, Punk Metal Dow here, and with it being the 4th of July, I wanted to do a video that is semi-close to my heart. Not a lot of people really know my story. My grandpa was a commanding officer in the U.S. military. Myself, I am not personally a fan of war. I really kind of feel that for the most part, we could really kind of do without it. There's definitely much more lucrative avenues to walk, but at the same time I also realize sometimes it's necessary. And I've kind of seen, and granted this was more kind of back in the day, like with the hippies and whatnot, it's not so much a problem now, but we still have people who very much disrespect our troops just because they don't agree with them. And I really can't condone that. And basically, this is kind of a video sharing my thoughts on why I feel it's wrong to disrespect our troops. My very first point is they risk their life for you. They do not know you. And regardless of whether you think they're right or wrong, they are making a very huge sacrifice for you. Despite the fact that you don't agree with them, these are still people. They have family, they have loved ones in other capacities, and they are risking their life to try to help you as best they can, to try to do what they feel is right, as best they can, and they really kind of get a lot of disrespect for that. And it is a very grand gesture. I mean, we will look at a firefighter who runs into a burning building and we will respect them, but we will not look at a soldier who has risked their life for us. And, not, obviously this isn't all of us, but some of us will look at a soldier who has risked their life for us and not respect them. And it's very sad, in my opinion, that happens, even though, there is the whole theological disconnect between, the firefighter is only there to save lives and the soldier takes it. And again, just to kind of summarize, regardless of whether you think that person's wrong or not for doing what they do, they are still trying to help you. They're still trying to put their life on the line for you. And those kind of coalesce with my other bullet points. Like I said, they do so without even really knowing you. People who don't even know my name, who don't even know I exist, they made a sacrifice for me. And so, even though I may not agree with them, why would I disrespect them? And one of the other bullet points was, some of these people, I mentioned firefighters. Some of these people who served in the military will go on to become a firefighter. Some of these people, and this next point may not go very far, given the ire towards the police force these days, or just in general. But some of these people do go on to be the police officer, that tries to protect you. They go on to become medical professionals, which can be a very dangerous job in and of itself. So it really kind of doesn't make sense that we would disrespect people who would live a life of sacrifice, essentially, as I guess the best way to put it. My next bullet point is, I've always heard these theories that, oh man, the government just brainwashed them and now they're just the puppets of the government and stuff. So, just for the sake of argument, let's just say that they were. I'm not actually saying that they are. The whole debate over that would definitely be better reserved for another video. But just for the sake of making an argument, let's just say that they actually were. So, if they're brainwashed, if they're victims of something, why not educate them and help them out? Why persecute them, the way that we do? We don't persecute any other kind of victim, or at least we're not supposed to. It's kind of, it's seen as, what's the best way to put it? It's just frowned upon, and it really should be. We shouldn't persecute victims. So it really does not make sense if you're going to say that these people are brainwashed, that you would persecute them over educating them. Um, and especially since the motif behind a lack of war, a lack of physical conflict, is usually compassion. That's usually the idea. So if these people were brainwashed, why are you not showing compassion, but you're essentially preaching compassion? It really just doesn't make sense. My next bullet point, hatred is just a waste of time in general. All you really do is you stir up negative emotions in yourself and another person. So you can verbally go after go after these people all you want, but at the end of the day, it's not going to change what they've done, whether you feel they're right or wrong. It's not going to change who they are. It's only going to create conflict within yourself and possibly within another human being. And we kind of sit here and we wonder why the world is so ugly when we don't take a step back and inflect. We don't take a step back and look at how our actions are really kind of having an effect on everything else. How our pebbles and stones that we cast into the pond are creating ripples. So, I mean, it's a waste of time. You're just, for as long as you choose to hate these people, you're going to harbor that. And even if you're not actively angry, there's still going to be a part of you inside that just feels negativity. And you could just let that go, but you choose to hold on to it because, again, you disagree with their philosophy. My last bullet point, rather. I'm sorry, I literally just woke up. I can't talk. I'm not fully organized. It kind of coalesces, and that's persecution is not great motivation. um, some people will kind of kowtow to somebody who's in their face and whatnot, but you have to understand these are people that were taught to stand up to much worse than somebody who theologically disagrees with them. Um, and I mean, honestly, that shouldn't be just relegated to our troops. We should all be larger than somebody who wants to be angry because we disagree with them. And I mean, hell, actually, an impromptu bullet point is right there. I mean, the military kind of taught them to stand up for themselves in a nation where we're kind of really bowing down to people with cell phones who say, I don't like this. Um, and it's just, I don't know. I know I've said this a million times, but it just bears repeating. It's really just, even though I don't agree with war, even though I think there's better avenues, I think the human race, in general, could do a lot better than war and violence. I still don't disrespect the troops. Um, because unfortunately, the war times that, we were attacked first, and these were the people that defended us. And there's always, again, and I'm not going to get into this in this video, there's always debates over, primarily 9/11, the whole idea that 9/11 was staged and everything. But that's a video for another day. But with that said, slightly different outro. I'm not going to sit here and talk about if you like this video, blah, blah, blah. That just kind of cheapens this whole thing. I will say, though, even if you don't like this video, thank the veteran that gave you the right to disagree with me and anybody else here. And thank you to all the brave men and women. Sorry you can't see this because it's a static image, but kind of a little emotional right now. Thank you to all those who sacrificed. All those who lost someone or something. And whether you agree with this video or not, here's wishing only the very best to you and all those closest to you. And a great 4th of July. Thank you.